Hey, River City Live. Today, I am obviously not in the studio. I am in the command center, also known as the family kitchen of the Smith house. And I'm here with Alexandria, who we've met before. You're an amazing mompreneur. You've got your own business and your own family to run. So I am just excited to be here with you to see how it all happens in a day, and also to hear some of your favorite tools and things that you want to share with other moms or moms to be out there.
Well, thank you so much for coming. It's such a pleasure to have you here. And I just like to use my experience as a mom and my platform to inspire and encourage other moms to know that you can have balance. It looks different for everybody. Everybody's family is different. Some people like me have 2 kids, some have 10 kids, some have, a working husband. My husband is also an entrepreneur, so we have 2 entrepreneurs in one household, which is crazy. So it looks different for everybody, but it's totally tangible. And I just try to share what works for my family in hopes that you can grab onto something and really use it to help you find balance in your own home and have peace and joy and fulfillment as a mother.
I think that's huge. Like you said, finding peace. When we were getting settled in, I was setting up my equipment. I was like, it's so serene here. And like you said, your husband's working upstairs. He's a very successful, wonderful lawyer in the area. We know him and his practice, but that's an intense business to be running on location in your home. You have, like you said, a house full of kiddos, and it's tough to find that peace. So what do you think is your number one tip for maintaining a home that both feels comfortable but is always functional and peaceful for you in your mental state?
So a couple of things that have worked for us is I try to give everybody their own space. So my husband has his office that's kind of also his little bat cave that he can go away to when he needs some time to himself. The girls have their own space, whether it's their rooms or their little corner with their little tables and their little toys. I try to make sure everybody has a soft place to land when they come home. We feel comfortable, we feel at ease, we feel at peace, and we're happy to be here. We're not begrudgingly coming home to a place we don't want to be. The other thing is, for my own sanity, I like to keep everything organized and as neat as possible. So I keep organizing baskets in every single room, in every single nook and cranny you can find it. There are baskets, there are compartments, there are organizing bins. Everything goes somewhere. And I tell my kids all the time, there's a place for everything and everything has its place. So as long as you put it back where you got it from, we can keep some sense of order, and it just helps us keep a sense of peace and calm in the home because there's not a lot of clutter.
Right. I'm definitely the same as you. If I'm seeing a lot of visual clutter, it makes me feel bogged down mentally. If you were to pick a school of thought, I'm one of those people. I like to kind of tidy up before I go to bed, and I also have a little bit of a Sunday reset. Now with your family, obviously I've just got me and the dogs who cause enough chaos, but when you were trying to maintain, do you find that is easier than one big let's go get him day, or what do you think your strategy is when it comes to just maintaining the chaos?
We absolutely take Saturdays off as much as possible. My daughter dances, so we do competitions and conventions and things like that, but as much as possible we try to have Saturday as our downtime where we don't have anything we have to do. If we do it, it's because we want to do it. Sunday we do attend church, but in the afternoon we take long naps. We reset, get the girls' rooms reorganized, get the things done for the week, make sure all the bags are packed and the laundry's put away and all those things. And we just try to use our weekend as our time to be together and our time to reset because our weeks are so full and so busy.
Yes, there's so many activities. I mean, I saw the calendar upstairs. It's busy. I felt very flattered that I was on it. It made me feel very special. When you were creating these habits, how do you integrate your children so that they are also growing up with these healthy habits? They're not growing up with a mom maid. Like, they are in charge of their own success here. I saw their own dance bags. You're like, you're in charge of this corner of your house, of this corner of your room.
Yes, it's very difficult because they're children, 2 and 8, but I do try to keep rehearsing with them. For a long time with my daughter, we would get all the way to dance class and she wouldn't have her shoes. And I'm like...
My mom's probably watching going, yep.
So
How did we get so many places without shoes as kids? Like, I would show up all the places with no shoes, and my mom was like, how did this happen?
but I'm like, how are you going to go dance and you have no dance shoes, you know? So what it is you learn as you go. So I learned that that's something I have to reiterate with her every single time until she gets it. And now she's like, Mom, I got my shoes, you know, I got my bag.
Right.
So I try to put as much responsibility on her, even my little one, as they can handle. And as they get older, they get more and more responsibility. But even my little one knows she puts her toys away in her basket. She cleans up her kitchen before we go to bed, you know. So we have routines that we put in place. And as a former teacher, I know how important rituals and routines are and how helpful they are for children, because they really do what's the word I'm looking for? They strive with structure. So the structure is very important for me and for them as well. And it helps us not only maintain organization, but it helps them learn responsibility as well.
Yeah, I think that's huge. Like you said, building those habits early is such a game changer, because then it's not you're reaching the teenage years and you're having to like fight through this new battle. What is your advice for a mom when she gets underwater? Because we've all had that time where, like, no matter how good our strategies and our plans are, just if all hell breaks loose and you're just underwater or you just feel like you're in the weeds, how do you get out of it?
First of all, I would say give yourself some grace. Like we have all been there. I'm there like once a week.
She's like, I was there this morning before the segment started.
Give yourself some grace and don't feel bad about asking for help, whatever that help looks like. For me, we have a huge village. So I have my mom, my sister, my husband has 5 siblings. They're all here in Jacksonville. Everybody doesn't have that. But if it looks like professional therapy online, if you can't get to the therapy virtually, you know, if it looks like going to see your OB and just letting them talk you through some strategies to get through the tough time you're having, whatever you have to do to give yourself that grace and get the help you need is so important, to just be able to recognize when you need help, ask for help, and willingly receive the help.
Yeah, and I would say that would even go into different professions. Like, you know, where does your time and your budget make sense for those worlds to meet? Are you wasting a lot of time out in the yard? Is it something that's not adding to your piece? Is it beneficial to have just a professional cleaner come in and help you out, or a professional organizer, or something like that? Even if it's not a full-fledged company, but you hire somebody for a few hours to come lend a hand, there's nothing wrong with that.
I was just sharing with my husband, so interesting that you say that. We actually had a nanny, a full-time nanny, a couple of years ago, and it was just too expensive to maintain. So now it's like I kind of get help as needed. I do have somebody that helps me clean. I have somebody that helps me organize. We have a family friend who has an older daughter who helps us babysit when we need help with babysitting. And I think we've gotten into a place where we shame people for having help. Like, oh, I do it all myself and I'm better than you because you get so much help. Or, you know, you have more resources, monetary resources, and you have it better than I do because I don't have those monetary resources. And I think we have to just be very gentle with ourselves and be grateful for whatever resources you have and use them. I am so grateful that we have the ability to outsource so many things, because I would literally be sitting here in tears trying to do 8 loads of laundry a week. In tears. Like, I tell my husband, I have so much other stuff to do. This laundry is consuming me. So when I found a company that will come pick up the laundry, wash it, fold it, bring it back, and all I have to do is put it away, it just, it made such a difference in just my peace, you know, and being able to use my time to do things that I actually enjoy, to spend time with my girls on Sunday versus doing laundry for hours and hours and hours.
Right. And like you said, mentioning monetary resources, I think it all goes back to budgeting. Even a modest budget, if you're looking at what does your time to expense look like. For me, I think that's the one thing that we can all agree on, is time is a thing I can't get more of.
Yes.
And like you said, time for you with your family equates to peace.
Yes,
So
and that's invaluable.
Invaluable. Yeah. I love that. So any other tips for moms just to make it out there and not just make it and survive, but really thrive with their families?
Absolutely. Embrace motherhood and all that comes with it. the good, the bad, and the ugly. Don't think it's better for you or worse for you than it is for the other one. And please don't compare yourself with anybody else. Everybody's family is different. Everybody's circumstances are different. Be grateful for wherever you are in your motherhood journey now, and just embrace it fully, and you will find so much joy and fulfillment, and you will definitely find that you are thriving, not just surviving in your motherhood journey.
I love that. I can tell when your passion just starts like coming out of you, and it's my favorite. My last question for you before we go is, I'm a non-mom, and there's plenty of people who are non-moms. What advice would you give to us? How can we better support our friends that are mothers?
Oh, that's a great question. Just show up. Like, show up. Don't ask. Don't ask if they need help.
Okay.
Just show up and say, hey, I want to take the girls with me for not a few days.
I was like, I said a non-mom. I'm not trained.
For a few hours. Like my sister, perfect example. My sister's a non-mom, but she called last week and said, hey, is it okay if I get the girls and they come spend the night with me for a night? Say less, sister. Yes, of course you can get the girls. You can get them for as long as you want to get them. So just that break for that night is more than you can imagine. So just show up. Don't say, what can I do? Just do it. Whatever you know your friend or your sister or your whoever cousin needs, just show up and do it.
Okay, fantastic. I love that, because we want to be able to support this in a total 360 way. So thank you so much for sharing. And I know that you are so open and so just open and grateful on your website. So if people want to connect with you, if they want to share your life, your openness, your journey, like you said, the good, the bad, the great, and the grimy, she's here for it.
Right, all of it, all the things.
She'll share it. She'll share it with you. So how can they stay connected with you?
Absolutely. So I write a blog on momwifeworshiplife.com where I share everything: mom life, wife life, worship life, mental wellness, self-care, all the things. And I would love for you to join subscribe to our newsletter, and you can do that by going to the website. And I send out an email weekly, and we just chat it up, and I share tips, I share insight and inspiration, encouragement. And it's a beautiful little community, and I'm so thrilled with how it's growing. And you can also follow us on Instagram at Mom Wife Worship Life.
Fantastic. Alexandria, thank you so much for opening up your home and letting me share your kitchen table with you and the conversation.
Thank you so much, Jenna.